It's Saturday, March 28th, 2026, and we got some potential for some more severe weather coming as we get into parts of April. I'm going to be talking about what you need to know about this upcoming severe weather potential and some of the droughts and fire weather risks that we've been having. Let's jump straight into today's video. So I do want to start off with our day 3 outlook for March 30th, okay? So just a few thunderstorms will be a potential though today and tomorrow down here in parts of Florida, inside the highlight area, but nothing crazy. But our next severe weather potential is going to be on March 30th. As you can see here, we already have a storm prediction center outlined over here. So you can see this is the general risk. It's just for some normal thunderstorms going around. That's the general risk. This is for March 30th, 2026. Then we got that level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for these areas, going from northeastern Iowa all the way over there towards western Michigan. This does include Milwaukee. This is definitely going to be something that we got to be watching. Also includes Madison and Green Bay over there towards Waukegan, Illinois. So yeah, this is something to be watching very closely here. But yeah, it's not the biggest risk because it's level 1 out of 5, but a few severe storms will be a potential. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to show you guys for March 30th. That's our next severe weather potential. So if we switch over to the GFS model, let me show you guys some of the other severe weather potentials that we could be getting. Here is the GFS future radar here. Let me show you guys the upcoming severe weather potentials. So if you fast forward up to March 30th, you can see that some of the few storms that might pop up out here, it's not that, detailed as you can see, but you can see those potential severe storms that might pop up out there. I'm not sure if those are the actual storms, but as you can see there. And then around March 31st, I think this could be pretty significant. We might need to be watching this very closely here. So around March 31st, we got to be watching for a potential line of storms to develop, potentially causing severe winds, hail, and maybe even a tornado threat, as they could develop over here on March 31st. We'll see as we get closer. We'll probably have more data on it, but I don't think the Storm Prediction Center has anything outlined for this day. Yeah, they don't have anything outlined for this day yet, so they could here soon, but it's looking like it could be a potential severe weather potential. So yeah, potential severe weather potential. Then around April 1st, we might have another severe weather system develop. Might even have a little bit of snow mixed within it as well. But this is April 1st here. We could have a few severe storms potentially develop out here that we also got to be watching closely. So that could potentially turn into a line of storms and maybe even a pretty big snow potential. So yeah, April 1st, April 2nd, we got to be watching. And then April 4th, it looks like we might have another severe weather potential, maybe even another squall line or a line of storms pushed through with tornadoes and severe winds on the table. The area is going to change, and this is pretty far out, so don't completely know what's going to happen, but at least can give you guys a look at what could happen. It might even have a little bit of snow up here. And around Easter here, we could have a potential for severe weather, as you can see over here. This is on Easter. We need to be watching for potential severe weather within these areas on Easter. So yeah, and then potential snow up here in the northeast on Easter. So I'll probably have a Easter forecast come out. But yeah, something that we got to be watching. So severe weather potentials are coming as we get into parts of April, which we need to be watching very closely. Let's switch over to a surface-based CAPE. This stands for Convective Available Potential Energy. Let's check that out here. So yes, we're going to have tornado risks out there, but the severe wind risks and hail risks are going to be the main concern. But we're probably going to have a tornado risk out there with it too. So let's take a look at convective available potential energy. Think of it as storm fuel. Let's push this up some more. For around March 31st, you can see that we're going to have, looks like we actually have some pretty decent levels of CAPE pop up around March 31st. That we really need to be watching, I think. But I don't think that the tornado risk is going to be that high, but I mean, it's definitely something that we need to be watching very closely here. And then if we push it up to April 2nd, you can see that we're just going to have some of these other things of CAPE come here, but yeah, definitely still going to be a potential for tornado risk. So yeah, that's going to be surface-based CAPE. So that's what's going on with that. And if we check out this model here, we're going to have all those troughs coming through. So as you can see here, this thing is kind of dipped down a little bit right here. So as you can see, our jet stream is kind of positioned like that right here. But if we fast forward the future radar some more, we're going to have another little trough come through, which this is going to cause some potential severe weather, that potential line of storms that's going to push through. Then around April 1st and 2nd, and then look at this trough. But it looks like we're gonna have quite a few troughs and stuff move through, potentially causing all that potential for some severe weather. So that's why we need to be watching early April very closely right now, because as of right now, it's looking like the first week of April could be really active in terms of potential severe weather. So yeah, that's what's going on. And if we do check out the probabilities outlook here, the Storm Prediction Center doesn't have any out yet. They could soon, but as of right now, like I said, the Storm Prediction Center doesn't have anything outlined for March 31st or beyond as of right now. So that could change though. So yeah, and we're having some pretty critical fire weather. So that I'm going to talk about that. So critical fire weather currently for today, if you live in any of these highlighted areas, I'm going to start off down here in the southeast. We have critical fire weather chances. As you can see down here, we got elevated fire risk, which is that orange. So if you're out here, you really need to be paying attention for potential fire weather and everything, as you can see there. Then we got this critical fire weather risk down here in parts of southern Georgia, southeastern Georgia, over there towards southwestern South Carolina, where we need to be watching for potential critical fire weather, as this is very concerning for these areas. Not trying to scare you, but this is pretty concerning. If we check this out, see that we got critical fire weather risks and all of that. So and then it's not even just that area. We got another critical fire weather risk up here. We got elevated. This is the elevated, which is that orange, and then you got that critical fire weather risk, which is that red in these areas, and right up here. That's the critical fire weather risk. So up here we need to be watching very closely for fire weather as well. And up here is in parts of the plains. So yeah, then tomorrow, this is the areas that could be getting some elevated fire weather risks for tomorrow, March 29th, 2026. For tomorrow, Sunday, March 29th. So yeah, that's going to be the fire weather outlook and everything. So but yeah, we could have a few isolated dry thunderstorms down here in parts of southeastern Arizona near Tucson. So we'll be watching that as well. So that's pretty much what's going on. So let's talk about the temperatures, because as of right now, I would talk about the excessive rainfall outlook, but I don't think we have any out except for day 4 and day 5, as you can see here. We'll talk about the excessive rainfall outlook first. You can see we're expecting some excessive rainfall within these areas on the day 4 outlook, and that's going to be for March 31st, I think. Let me see, March 28th, March 29th, March 30th, yeah, and then this is for right here, this is for April 1st, where we got to be watching these areas for potential excessive rainfall, as that's going to be your marginal risk for excessive rainfall. So yeah, now let's talk about the temperatures here. So here's the temperature outlook. You can see if you live in these areas, could be seeing some above average temperatures here, above normal. Those oranges and reds, and up here in those gray, that's going to be your near normal chance of temperatures there. So, and then up here in the very northern tip of Maine, there's a 33% chance of below normal temperature. But hopefully this warmth over here goes up to Maine, because hopefully we start seeing warmth in Maine, because Maine has been seeing cold temperatures. So yeah, warmer temperatures are on the way. If we do check out the precipitation outlook, we're also going to be seeing some above normal precipitation potentially if you live in any of these green highlight areas. That's a 6 to 10 day. This is 8 to 14 day outlook, and this is the 3 to 4 week outlook. So week 3 to 4. So that's going to be your precipitation outlook and everything like that. And then here's the places that could be seeing some nice weather. But yeah, anyways, now let's talk about the temperatures here. So as you can see here, we got some warmth sticking over here in parts of the western United States. That warmth, I think that's probably going to start like moving and kind of releasing itself and letting it move around some more here. So let me show you guys here. That warmth is definitely going to move its way into the parts of the eastern United States, and that cold air is probably going to try to make its way through. As you can see there, around April 5th, Easter, it could be pretty cold. So that's all I got for you in today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next weather update video. Have a wonderful day.